Hello friends, family and other creatures of the sea, and welcome back. Today we have another cool game of StarCraft 2, or at least I hope so. So we have Creator versus Maru. And Creator recently has been surprising me with his extremely high level of play. Often with still slightly poor results. But when I watch Korean Protosses and I look at Creator, I feel like this guy makes all the right moves, but sometimes perhaps just a bit too slow, and sometimes perhaps gets a bit impatient. But in general, is an absolutely fantastic player who's improved a lot recently, and it's one of the tosses that I kind of expect in 2022 to start doing well, a lot better than he's done in the past few years. Of course, Creator in 2012 was the absolute top dog when it came to Protoss. I think he won WCS Korea back then, in 2012 it was. He was a very, very solid Protoss player. Back then I think it was like 16, 17, maybe only 15 even. Fantastic, fantastic player. Then he really just kind of fell off during HOTS, during majority of Legacy of the Void as well. But now he's coming back, and you can still see that he definitely has it. He wants to be a solid player. He's not much of a cheeser, but he comes in with good preparation majority of the time. Ooh, that's kind of cute actually. He's opening up with a robotics facility. This is an opener that we hardly ever see. As Maru opens up over here with a Marauder. This is a build order match that is extremely good for Creator. Often the triple barracks Marauder first goes into 3 racks, and that is... the Tech Lab Marauder first with Concussive goes into 3 racks. And the robotics facility just has some great tools to deal with that, and for potential counter damage. Something like a single Colossi drop, a Disruptor drop, would almost be considered hard counters against what Maru is doing here. And Creator scouted the fact that this is a Marauder as well, which means he can get a battery on the low ground. It's getting a fast Robobait. This is so quick. So a usual Robobait timing would be like 420, 430. That way you can still get 2 Colossi out before most major pushes that Terran can do. With a freaking 330 Robobait, we're looking at a drop. Yeah, Prism is going out right now. I love that Creator knows that Maru wants to jump up here with a Reaper. This Reaper will get nothing done. At the same time, these 2 Marauders on the low ground, though, actually might get something done. Look at that control out of Maru. It's not really taking any damage on these 2 bad boys. Of course, Creator also just isn't going to take any damage. Once the second Adept arrives, first Stalker gets warped in. I mean, it's fun that you have 2 Marauders here, but they're just not going to be capable of doing anything whatsoever. The question now is what is going to be the second unit here out of the robotics facility. Will it be a Colossi? Will it be a Disruptor? I think it's a Colossi because we're floating a fair amount of money right now. Are these Marines? Yeah, he's actually sending out Marines. These both of these Marauders, I think, should fall. Did he lose the Stalker? That's kind of sloppy, honestly. 1 Stalker for a Marauder is not a good trade for the Protoss. And now Maru actually, I think, managed to turn this around a little bit. Oh, look at that! The alternating shot on the Adepts to be able to slow both of them with the Concussive Shell was a very good call. We have Prism Speed on the way, so it is a Colossi drop here. But this early game should have been way better. It really should have been way better. I like how he's using the Prism here, just to snipe that Marauder. Still feels like that Creator kind of gave up a free win here by mismicroing his Adepts a little bit and losing that Stalker initially as well. Why did these Marines... Oh, they're stimmed. I'm like, why do they walk so fast and funny? He already finished his stim, I guess. Follows this up with a tank, by the way. So we're going to see something of a tank push behind this. I don't mind that. Also, defensive tank is going to be quite useful. Where's that Prism, by the way, that we've been talking about? Yep, here we go. Graphitic Drive about to finish up as well. So let's just follow this Prism for a while. See what it's going to be capable of doing. Because the army is majority Marines, I do believe that there should be a lot of potential in this Prism. There is a turret here, kind of a zoning turret. I like that. I really do like that. Of course, also capable of zoning out the Colossi, not just the Prism. Single Marauder moving forward, and we'll be able to deal, honestly, surprisingly well with that Colossi. 1 Marauder versus a Colossi is not a fight you really want to fight as a Protoss. Most of the time. There's just a lot of HP on these Marauders. They don't take extra damage from these beautiful light laser beams out of the Colossi. Second Colossi is out already. 6 minutes into the game. Yeah, this is... I actually love this build. I think it's such a cool build. throwing it out here against Maru is great as well. Even though I'm surprised that Maru opened up with that 3 Rex on the map like Glittering Ashes. It feels kind of unlike him, but it is what it is. Tank on the high ground will provide security for the people of Maru's village. And the tank on the low ground will provide security for the more left side of that little town that Maru has built up here. +1 infantry armor is on the way. I'm not quite sure why I hovered over it. I do know the icon of infantry armor. Double drop being sent out here. Now this is where... Oh my god, the creator's playing a good game. This is what I mean. He makes all the right moves. So he preemptively already has units in position. Already has his army split as well. And this is what I was gonna say. One of the main issues when playing Colossi often are these drops. The reason for that is because you don't have any catch whatsoever. You don't have Blink, you don't have Stargate for Phoenixes. So killing Medevacs is difficult. You need to be in the perfect position ahead of time. If you're not in position ahead of time, you're going to be in for a treat. And it's not the good type of treat. It's a treat where you get blasted in the face with an ice pick or something like that. Like, ta-da, surprise. Oh, that was great. Hallucination here, scouting the top side. Fort base going down, it's a bit too soon, I think. I don't think you can quite hold that yet. There's just not the army split possibility here for Creator. You need some type of extra tanking, I think, in the way of Zealots in order to hold this. This is such a risky army split. I'd almost recommend not doing it. Maru, however, is just building tanks at home. And I guess that's giving Creator some certainty that he can hold these things. I mean, that's a lot of supply, that's a lot of value at home for Maru. That is not being used in any push whatsoever. Fort base will be forced to cancel, I think. So, yeah, couldn't quite defend it yet. Maru did lose some units for it, though. This right side drop is really non-dangerous as long as the Colossi is here. Because we'll see, yeah, one Colossi shot, then all of these Marines will be in the red. Ooh, into Storm. This feels like a Wings of Liberty type of style, you know. Very passive with these Colossi, going forward into Storm. And then maybe pushing across the map once you have Storm, couple of Immortals. Don't really like it that much though. There's a lot of tanks here, which are kind of a counter to High Templar usually. Of course, you can put the Templar in the Prism. We still have Prism speed as well, so that could help. But against Colossi, there's usually also going to be some Vikings. Ghosts are on the way out already. Seems like Maru is actually moving into a very passive mid game here. And if we're going to see some action, most likely it will come from Creator and not from Maru. Maru feels like he's in a bad spot. And honestly, given how the early game went, I might actually agree with him. I don't think he's in a great spot. It's going to be down in upgrades, at least for a little bit. Charge is going to finish up at some point. The gateway count is growing already, and we're on 4 bases, 8 gas here. This is the type of position that Creator wants to be in. Whenever Maru gets into this position, though, where he just turtles, it's really difficult to break in. And I would almost recommend to the Protosses that rather than trying to break Maru with things like DTs and moving around like a Disruptor Stalker Colossi army and a sniping like a Fort base with DTs, you just straight away go into Carrier. I feel like that is the proper choice here. You actually see a Stargate go down. So glad to see that Creator shares that insight with me. When you see a lot of tanks coming out of Maru, he almost always goes into this mode. It's such a clear indicator of what's about to happen, and there is nothing, that you have some freedom to tech into Carriers. You can make a very scary push with 4 or 6 carriers, somewhere there, depending on whether you play double Stargate or triple Stargate, of course. And you can do that with +2 attack as well, because you're going to be on 8 gas. You have a lot of gas in the bank, so you can really get that going. I wouldn't even mind a second Cybernetics core here for those extra armor points on the interceptors. That would, in my opinion, be quite useful, of course. Storm is out already as well, which means that large Viking counts are going to be less useful against carriers too. Fusion cores being built as well as a second starport right now. And yeah, Maru is just turtling up hard at this point. Moving around with this Ghost Marine Marauder army, sensor towers in positions, turrets in positions, and this is impossible to break, okay? I'm not joking. Like you can't break this with DTs. Maybe if you have a really good fight and there's no tanks nearby. I'm not even quite sure where that would be. Like if Maru gets caught completely out of position, it's possible. But right now what Maru does is he gets triple command centers. All of these will turn into orbital commands. And from here on out, what he will do, he'll just sit back, scan a bunch, and win fights. That is his entire plan here. It's just to win fights. It's all he's going to go for. Win fight after fight after fight. That's his goal. 3 carriers on the way, so most likely we'll see a 6 carrier push. And this is a high value army. Look at this. 3 Immortals, 3 Colossi, 5 Templar, 5 Disruptor. And then there's going to be 6 carriers with it. That's an army that, if I was a Terran, I would not want to face. Second cybernetic score going down. Creator, man. He's making all the right moves. Theoretically, such a strong player, Creator. Really, like, his theory, I think, is some of the best. You really understand what he wants to play, how he wants to play it. His mechanics aren't bad either, by the way. Like, no, by no means am I saying that. But sometimes in the execution, it is like, I think that is usually where it lacks for Creator, in the execution. Because his plans tend to just be very good. I really do like the way he plays. I like the way he thinks about the game. Maybe I just really like him as a Protoss because he plays how I would like to play. Of course, there's a little bit of bias there. If someone plays exactly like how you want to play, you often find him better. Because you always believe that what you're doing is correct. Or at least, most of the time. Sometimes I play and believe me, I know what I'm doing is not correct. Cool little move there. Gravitic boosters, which is the observer speed, is also being researched here. The vision. Look at this. Couple of observers just being plopped around the map. Great vision. Beautiful line of vision here out of Creator. Sees everything that's happening. Sees everything that is necessary to see. Now the 3 Colossi are staying at home and I love this. I love this so much. The reason why I love this is because now Maru scans this army and thinks, hey, wait a second, there's no Colossi. Do I still need Viking production? Now, I think Maru is quick enough in the head to realize this is not a 200 supply army, but that could mean 2 things. This either means that there is, right now, Stargates on the way with carriers, or that there's 12 DTs on the map with Blink. So, depending on what Maru believes it is, we could see a different response here. We could see more Liberators being built against this DT type of army, or we could just see a bigger ground army rather than more Vikings. And it looks like Maru is actually stopping at 10 Vikings. I think that's the number he had. 11 Vikings is where he stopped. Well, he's maxed as well, so... But he went for more ghosts rather than anything else. Double ghost academies on the way right now. Look at that. Beautiful stuff. We're going to see a couple of nukes landing soon. But the vision here for Creator is, I think, good enough that it's going to be very, very tricky. Look at that. Just building. It says 7 observers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Beautiful stuff. Beautiful stuff. He's going to have a nice line of vision. And he's playing this so passive because he knows that he wants to push with this carrier force. Actually, he's kind of waiting too long, I think. Just getting a lot of upgrades for them right now. I also don't mind that. Which means he's most likely confident in even the later stages of the game. Now, this is something I would not recommend against Maru. Because I've never seen a Protoss that actually beats him in the late game. Like the actual proper late game. Maru's too good at controlling his army, I think. Like, you just... This is enough to do with balance, with Terran being too good in the late game. It's just with Maru being too fast and too quick. I really do believe he is the best late game player in the world. Maybe across all races even. Of course, Serral, you can say, oh, he's pretty darn good late game as well. But Maru really is extremely crazy. He's so ridiculously good. It's painful to watch. It's painful to experience. We have another ghost being sent out. Nuke wants to land, but is of course in vision of one of the many observers that are around. Oh, hello. Might want to shoot that. There we go. Tempest upgrades are coming out as well right now. Should probably start on the +3. Oh, beautiful disruptor shot. On the +3 attack for the air. This bad boy is actually not getting spotted right now. Will we get a snipe on this observer? No, we won't. But the ghost will land his nuke. I mean, doesn't really get anything done. Response so far out of Creator has been good. It's not surprising, seeing that he has vision of the entire map. Or practically the entire map. There's still 5 observers remaining. 2 of those at home. Should really start sending them out. I love that he scanned it and killed this with the observer. Another nuke out of the same ghost. Was a little bit too late, but we can still see the smoke trail. triple nukes, another Ghost Academy. So we're going into 4, 5 nukes maybe. More ghosts are being sent out. Look how quick Maru is seeing on these ghosts where the observers are and then sniping them himself. Can we get a disruptor shot on this, or is it not possible? I think Maru was anticipating that. Decided to move back. Now instead we'll go over here. Now all of a sudden the vision is a little worse. Look at this. Almost no vision on the map anymore. Observers need to be re-sent out. This scan makes it so obvious what's happening, but also, yeah, very clear dot as well. Nice. Good stuff, good stuff. You can a natural now as well, though. Where is it even coming from? Oh, it's over here. Oh, 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 oh. Is he gonna be in time with that? Yeah, barely though. It was very close. Nuke in this area as well, but the DT and the observer take quick care of that. So, I think the unit's lost, yeah. Resources lost. Nukes, of course, count in there as well, usually. What do they count? Is that a building, a nuke, or a unit? Let's see what they count as. I think it counts as a unit, actually. I can't quite recall. Lots of scans going down as well. You have 8 orbital commands here. Good to see. Means there's basically infinite scans at this point. Or it's just kind of posture. Okay, well, that's counted. Yeah, it's a unit. Okay, so it just counts as a unit lost, I guess. And he's just scanning for observers at this point. He wants to deny his opponent vision and then send on more ghost. And get things going. Get a crap ton of money. Oh, DT gets sniped as well. So he wants to get that observer, but with the observer speed, they're just a little bit too fast. Another nuke goes down. I mean, it should be obvious that it's going to be over here. Maru scanned and then went in. I actually don't think Creator's paying attention. Let's take a look. Where are you looking? Oh, he's looking for it. He's looking for it. Doesn't find a nuke. Now loses 10 workers. Loses a big chunk of his army as well. These colossi in the corner, not quite with this army for whatever reason, but we'll get a couple of swipes in. Oh, Maru still believes he can fight that. I don't think he can. So he's going to pick up another nuke raining down on this base from the other side. We have, is this double sensor towers? Yeah, double sensor towers, cool. Lots of vision here for Maru now, at least defensively. A nuke is going to land on top of this army if the army isn't careful. Creator does spot that. Another nuke is going to land. We have so many nukes in production. How many Ghost Academies do we have? 4. Okay, 4 Ghost Academies. Consistently getting nuke after nuke after nuke. How do you see how many nukes we've had? I wish there was a tab for that. It doesn't count as a unit lost, because I guess you don't really lose it. You just use it. We're like 6 or 7 at this point, maybe. If it continues like this, it's actually going to... It's like, let's start counting from now. Let's just say this is 8. That's fair. That is fair. 6 more ghosts on the way as well, as Maru is just slowly but surely expanding. And that's kind of his goal. Like, he's not... These nukes, they can do damage, but if they don't, that's fine, because Maru just kind of keeps expanding, and he's just using nukes to keep his opponents busy. And let me tell you, a nuclear missile definitely will keep your opponent busy. You don't want to lose all your workers for free, or potentially even an army. And all of these scans, like, they're so scary, because usually you only have 1 scan, then a nuke. You know where it's going to land. But if there's 12 scans and then 2 nukes, you just need to check every single base. And maybe he'll nuke somewhere where, you know, there's no scan. It's all possible. It really is all possible. Ooh, all of these scans actually missing this little army. I think that's a double nuke, no? Yeah. Brothers in arms. Oh, 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 oh. Boom. Boom. That's 2 nukes there going down. DTs will stay alive. Observer gets taken out. 2 more nukes getting queued up immediately. And not only on the Ghost, but also on the Ghost Academies. And now Creator says, hey, I've had enough of this crap. I want to go kill you. Now, there is Templar with this army. They're not in a prism, however. There's also Tempest on the way. 11 carriers, though. That's a lot. And one of the tricks I think that Maru is very good at is making sure that the interceptors don't properly come out. This base fell, by the way, to these 2 extra nukes. One of the tricks is that it's difficult to fight against Maru with your interceptors. But because these rocks are here, you kind of have a way to get the interceptors out before the fight. And that is something that I would love to see used here out of Creator. Just attacking these rocks with your interceptors for 2-3 seconds and then shifting the attention of the carrier to Liberators, Ghost, Vikings, that type of stuff. Because if you straight away go for the Ghost, almost every single... I mean, this is the first time I've seen Ghost actually take out a Disruptor like that. It's like how Clem would do it with Bio. These Vikings will kill this Colossi. Of course, the Colossi is just... These are intended sacrifices, okay? He doesn't give a crap about it. I love this nuke, by the way. I wonder if Creator's seeing it. Yeah, he knows, he knows. He absolutely knows. He's just lacking the observer vision at this point, I think. He's looking for his observer. Can't find it, though. There's one. Now there's one, another nuke over here. Where's that even coming from? Oh, it's right next to him. If that wouldn't have been spotted, I think that army actually could have died, or at least a lot of these workers. 16 workers have gone down on the side of Creator, so Creator did not realize that there was a nuke landing over here. We have 4 more nukes in production, of course. Liberators now moving forward, and here the interceptors are out. And now we'll actually see the power of this army, because if the interceptors are out, the carries are really good. However, if the interceptors aren't out, then the carries are kind of useless. And that is often the hardest thing to do against Maru. It really is. It's crazy. The difference between Maru and literally every other Terran player, when it comes to that type of micro, is absolutely massive. And we still have a single ghost over here waiting to nuke something. He's going to do just that. Another nuke landing on this bottom side base. You see now a bunch of these interceptors are out. It will become very difficult for Maru. Where's the ground army for Maru? There's no ghost whatsoever with this army. Does he still have a ground army? Or is this all just air units? I think he has slightly too many workers, and slowly but surely Creator has been getting rid of his own workers. He has a huge army. A lot of this is air, and I think Maru's actually going to lose this base, and if he isn't careful, also this game, more nukes are landing though. A lot of the workers are falling. 18 workers go down on the side of Maru as well right now. So the ghosts on the high ground are helping taking out these interceptors. Turret over there also doing his part. I don't think Stalker Warpins are the correct choice. It feels like the correct choice because they come in quickly, but actually you just want to keep on adding on to this army, either with Tempest or with more carriers. I really would like just more Tempest rather than seeing these 10 Stalkers. And I would love for these... Ooh, there's actually already 5 Tempest. Oh, maybe even a Mothership I think would be cool to have. Just as like a kind of a giant Viking shot magnet. And also forcing continuous scans out of your opponent. Good fight here for Creator. Gets a couple of decent storms as well. Interceptors are all out, which is, well, once again, the biggest thing. There's still 2 storms remaining. No, there's 3, 4 storms remaining. Creator actually pushing forward. Has a really good shot here at winning the game. Maru on top of that storm. Just straight up eating it. And... you know, sometimes people say, well, that looks like a champion's breakfast. Let me tell you, eating a storm for breakfast is not what champions eat. They usually don't want to eat anything of the sort. Nuke? No way. Nah, there's no way this works. No. That ghost gets taken out. Maru in a world of trouble right now. His Creator is stutter stepping forward. He can taste the victory. And I think Maru can taste defeat as well on the tip of his tongue. Oh, it's there. Oh, it's there. Orbital command's gonna get taken out. I think that's the second one over here. Third orbital command's gonna get taken out as well. There's no prism with this army. Archons is absolutely the worst call you could make here. This is the one thing I absolutely do not agree with. I think he's been playing a fantastic game, Creator it is, but Archons I don't think is correct because they are so weak against Ghost, and Maru is very powerful with Ghost. Any Archon you build is just cannon fodder for the EMPs of the Ghost. I mean, you're gonna EMP anyway, might as well hit all of the Archons, right, while you're at it. I actually think that's a huge mistake here. That actually is the... yeah, I'm not a fan of that. Another nuke is being landed here. Look at these EMPs just taking out, well, at least the first 3 Archons. Couple more EMPs are hitting. Do we still have any energy left? No. 2 of the Archons will stay alive. Bit of a weird army split here coming out of Creator. Maru goes back into his main base right now. And with these Vikings... this has been a fantastic game out of Creator. Creator really has a knack for that late game. He does the same in PvZ. So powerful with it. I really like the way he controls the army. But he has been losing a lot of his bank right now. His mining isn't as high as it used to be. Look at Maru's income, by the way. He's mining a solid 3.4k per minute. Almost doubling his opponent's income. Now, the production is rather limited. That's not completely true. There's still 4 starports on the low ground. I think if the starports on the low ground would be taken out, that we're looking at a clear Creator win. But right now, I'm not so sure anymore. I mean, the income is just really high here for Maru, who's producing a lot of Vikings at the same time. Do we still have nukes? We have a single nuke still available. Is there any ghost on the map that I can see? No, I don't think there is. Maru's just going to move out with this army. Still on a decent amount of medevacs as well. 4 good storm. I love this prison with a Templar. Creator is just making a lot of correct moves today. I'm just a huge fan. I really like the way he plays. It is cool to see. Good control with these Stalkers, loses 1 Tempest, tries to get some of these Vikings down. The fact that these starports stayed alive in the natural, though, might be a bit of an issue. There's also only 2 storms remaining, and they're in an army that seems to be in the same control group as the main army. And every single time this moves forward, I'm a little bit afraid that it gets sniped. Without the storms, this army is inferior to Maru's army. That's an absolute fact here. Okay, to be fair, who puts turrets over here? I don't think Creator was quite aware of this. I actually lose 1 or 2 observers as well. These stalkers are starting to move somewhere. I'm not quite sure what he wants to do with these stalkers. I actually like that Creator goes back for a little bit. But in that case, he really needs to get rid of these stalkers, because they just make his army a lot weaker, right? This is how much supply? This is 32 supply that could just be in carriers, Tempest, disruptors, really just anything but the stalker. I actually think a couple of disruptors would be really helpful right now, because there's a huge ground army. The air army isn't that big anymore. There's 16 Vikings, there's 2 Liberators, but that is pretty much it. These stalkers are going to start moving forward, will jump on top of this planetary, and even though it seems bad cost efficiency wise, I think you need to get rid of them anyway. So doing it like this, you know, at least you force out a repair or something. I don't think there's any way you could have gotten much more value out of them anywhere else. You need to get rid of them ASAP, because you want to increase your... I think that more Tempest is not necessary. I think 8 is plenty. Tempests really are there just to force a fight from your opponent. So as long as you can one-shot every unit in your opponent's army, you don't need more Tempest than that. Maybe 1 or 2 reserve, but with 8 Tempest, you already have that 1 or 2 reserve. With 6 Tempest, you can one-shot pretty much anything. So I'm surprised to see more Tempest being built here. Like the addition of the Oracles as well. We're going to need to see some Storms. They are good Storms. They're very good Storms. An Oracle right here would be absolutely key. I really do believe more Disruptors is the answer here, by the way. I really do believe like a couple of extras, 5, 6 Disruptors total, would just be a huge bonus here. A boost to the army of Creator. I'm still not a huge fan of these Archons either. But the ghost count isn't that large. I also wouldn't mind getting 1 or 2 extra Templar, by the way. These Templar are going to get EMP'd, which means there's no more Storm available currently. The Mothership, I mentioned that before. I'm big on that as well. Maru at the same time just going back kind of to his roots, I would say. A big bio army. Single DTs are annoying Maru here. The orbital command count has decreased significantly. I think it was at like 10, 12 earlier. And now we're back at 6. There's 1 command center that can still morph into an orbital command. This base is not even a planetary. I really do believe, though, that Creator should push at some point. Like, he still needs to do something. I'm surprised to not see the carriers with this army. I guess he doesn't want them to get sniped by the Vikings. That just wants to use this army as kind of a... with Tempest long range. But he does need to grab these carriers, I mean, back at some point, right? Yeah, there we go. 9 Tempest. Mothership is out as well. Now we're talking. This base is going to get blasted the moment it gets taken. 2 stalks. This is a good move. I really do like that. It's really annoying to deal with as well. Look at that. Large chunk of the army is going to get sent over there. But he should... Oh, Creator, what are you doing? Losing all of his support units, all of the disruptors, all of the Templars getting taken out there for basically free. Oh no, playing so well, you make 1 mistake. And now Maru is going to pounce. Maru, of course, is going to pounce, because this is Maru. He has a huge army. There's no more disruptors, which means that the ground army is going to be the real issue now. I mean, he could have had 2, 3 extra disruptors there. Trust me, it wouldn't have helped, because he just lost all of them. He still would have lost all of them. These were good Storms, by the way, absolutely. Hitting center mass of that bio army. Triple DTs on the way as well. We have 5 more Tempests. I really do not like that too much. The issue here is not the air. The air army is being dealt with. We're dealing with a ground army now. That is what we're afraid of. And disruptor count needs to rise. We're on double robotics facilities. There's only 1 robotics facility currently producing. That's, I guess, at the 3rd base. Maybe somewhere deeper in the main. I can't find this stupid robotics. Well, it is what it is. Doesn't matter either. Doesn't even matter. Where is it? Oh, no, I care now. Oh, it wasn't the main. I just missed it. Nice. Yeah, I think he kind of panicked, rebuilt a lot of Tempest. I really don't think that was necessary. Look at the army. Like, the way that the army is set up right now. These 10 Tempests don't really contribute too much, I think. Because their actual damage output is too little. Like, they're great at sniping buildings, don't get me wrong. For that, they're great. Great at forcing fights, but... I don't know. I will have to see how he uses them, I guess. Like, he seems so comfortable with his Tempest army that perhaps he just doesn't need any ground fight because he never wants to engage in a ground fight. However, the more supply you have in air units, the harder it usually becomes to split your army effectively as well. And that might actually be an issue here, as we see Maru now splitting up his army in two, which is something I believe he should have maybe done a bit faster. Prism somehow making it into the main base as well. I really like the consistency of Creator, just continuously rebuilding that Prism, trying to get damage done. Left side bases are being taken out right now, so it's a bit of a semi-base trade. I think some defensive Templar here definitely could have helped out. Defensive Disruptor, absolutely the same. Lots of orbitals being taken out here though. 5 orbitals are still remaining. This command center will get blasted. Yeah, this is going into full base trades now. This is a good I'm telling you, he has so many moves. He knows so many tricks. Creator really understands how to play this matchup, I feel like. I really do believe he thought about this very, very deeply. Oh, he needs to fight this. He actually does need to fight this. And he can fight this, absolutely. Can't lose the Prism, though. Cannot lose the Prism. I think Maru is the one that needs to defend now. These stasis wards are not going to see any use. These bases are well secured. There's going to be a mining base on the far right side. There's still a mining base in the middle. There's some mining going on here. Creator is still outmining his opponent. Has way more army, has way more bank. Similar army. In a one-time fight, this is going to be good for Maru. However, if the fight lasts, because there is 10 Tempest, this is definitely going to be good for Creator. We'll see what Maru decides to do. He's going for a bit of a flank here on that left side as well. A couple of cannons being thrown out. Oh, I don't think Creator can actually defend this position properly. Can he? Storm, storm, storm. Is there a storm? Is there a storm? Where are the storms? Hello? Not a single storm hitting so far. Time Warp being used and a recall. Oh, actually gets a big chunk of his army out, but that means that these disruptors most likely are going to fall. Can we get a pickup with the Prism on this disruptor? Maybe final second? Yep, we get it. Carrier will move back to safety as well. Bank is decreasing right now here for Creator. Maru still being outmined as well by Creator, so there's a lot of pressure on Maru right now to perform. He's also lost almost all of his orbitals. There's 5 remaining, but the constant scanning is a thing of the past, which means that the mothership now is a lot more valuable than before, which is kind of cool to see. Once again, 5 and 15 Tempest, that is not the way, right? Is it? It just makes the main army so much smaller, and a lot of the gas is going in there. Creator actually completely running out of gas at this point. Trying to retake bases on the left side. I think the right side should be the focus. You have these solid setups in the middle. Stasis wards are there. I don't know. I just don't know. It feels incorrect, the 5 extra Tempest. 15 Tempest. And you'll win the air fight, but you are already winning the air fight. This is all about a single time fight. You're not going to be able to continuously trade against Maru, because you can't split this army. It's either going to be a single fight or a base trade type of scenario, and in both cases I don't think Tempest are that great. Good snipe out of Maru, no clue how he did that. Just scanning forward, moving these Vikings. Just back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he sees an opportunity, bam, he bites. Like a snake in the grass, he comes out. Takes a chunk out of your arm. Then starts digesting it. Sits back and waits until he's ready again. Without sensor towers, by the way, he's doing this. Look at him mirroring his opponent's movement. He was just reading it. Look at that. He's reading this. Now he's going to most likely try to send a little bit of an army towards that far right side as well to get a cancel. And this is the issue with these large air armies. Good luck sending 3 Tempests to deal with a run-by, buddy. Enjoy that, huh? 15 Tempest out. Okay, he really needs to trade. If you get a 15 Tempest army, I don't care that you need to trade. It's the only thing you have. It really is the only thing you have. I mean, with these oracles, he should be completely fine. Now, right side base is going to get cancelled. Now he's expanding to the left side. Wherever his army is where he needs to expand. He just needs to... You need to go. You can't be afraid when you have 16 Tempest. Like, there's no time for that, no? Right now he's being outmined by Maru, who managed to secure this left side base, who managed to secure this base. We have new command centers being built. I think that Maru might actually be doing it. It makes no sense, though. This game is so sick. Another revelation being thrown down. Okay, come on, let's trade. Let's trade, buddy. Throw another revelation. We know that the army is there. You need to start fighting. Oracle moving towards this side. Single Stalker harass. Stasis Ward. That is so good. He wants to take out this base, but he doesn't want to get caught in this corner. So he says, I'm going to put down some Stasis Wards. And on Maru to kill these wards before the fight starts. I think he can get one, but that will be it. Can we get EMPs on these Templar? 1 storm, 2 storms. Couple of feedbacks as well going down. Is there disruptors with this army? I don't think there is. The Tempest now fighting. Oracle's using their beams as well, but I don't think there's enough damage output in this army. The Tempest are getting pushed back. But maybe there's not enough anti-air here. 15 Marines, 14 Vikings do remain. Big Zealot Warp in. Marauders on the ground are standing strong. I think this was a big win for Maru once again. He does need to go back home to rebuild. And that's what we're seeing. 12 Marines at a time. 5 Vikings at a time as well. And the Tempest stay alive. We have 16 Tempests, but everything else died. Lacking the disruptors, lacking even more carriers, I think would have been fine, because then at least you have increased damage output. You have way more damage coming out of that. Way more dangerous. You really don't need more than 6-7 Tempests. And if you do want more Tempests, I think you need to work more with cannon positions, battery positions forward. You can do that if you have 5k in the bank. Nah, this is not going to be it. No Creator, the army is not big enough. We see a recall here, is going to lose 3-4 Tempest in the recall, a bunch of ground units as well. And I think Maru right now actually has it. There's not enough mining anymore for Creator. The bank is completely gone. There's 3 Templar in a prism, and that is the last bit of hope that Creator has. And this is Maru, who can wait an entire game. He can wait an entire game. And once he smells this moment, he goes in and kills you. He doesn't need 2 moments. He needs 1. The absolute killer that he is. Yeah, just a couple of storms is pretty big there, honestly, but there's just not enough army here. If there was like 3-4 more storms, maybe, but not like this. Maru smelled an opportunity, and he takes it. Completely red army, but he doesn't care. He knows there's no more money for Creator right now. We'll be able to take out 2 more Tempest. 1 Tempest remains out of the 16. GG gets called. And Maru wins this beautiful game in Glittering Ashes. 38 minutes and 5 seconds of... well, not all of it was action, but especially the second part of the game was pretty sick in my opinion. So like 20 nukes as well. Brilliant, brilliant stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Great play out of Creator as well. Really did enjoy watching him play. He has all these cool little protocols that he keeps using, like the single Stalker harass, just the continuous use of Revelation. The way he uses Tempest, I think, is very good, but in the end, Maru just a bit too powerful in that control. That's going to be it for me today. Thanks all so much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this game. I for sure did. If you did, don't forget to like button, subscribe to the channel. We'll all see you next time for a new video. Thank you, and bye-bye.